What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Command and Console. My name is Jason. Today we are talking about some Project PS2 pickups for the collection, and today it's going to be a racing edition. I love my racing games. You guys seem to love racing games as well, especially the PS2 era, and I've got a couple of subsets here that I'm really excited to add to the collection. Nostalgia might be the killer blow here. If you watch my games I hate video, you know that nostalgia has betrayed me numerous times for games that I've bought for the collection, didn't like on a replay, and feel a bit burned. Hopefully these games will be redeemable and they will show that test of time still shows that they're great. But anyway, let's get to the first game. Right, I'm cheating with this first game. It is a PS1 title, so not technically Project PS2, but it's part of the series that I've collected, and the majority of the games are on PS2. But the first game is Ford Racing. That's right, I've got loads of nostalgia for this series of racing games. I just remember them being fairly decent for like a budget racing title series. I think they're quite decent for what they are. This first game is pretty good for PS1. It's no Gran Turismo, guys. Don't worry about that. It's no Gran Turismo whatsoever. But it's pretty decent. Pretty affordable game. It's, you know, comes with the manual as well. Yeah. For some reason I was thinking that I want more racing games in the collection, and I just remembered Ford Racing was a series I liked. Ford Racing. So yeah, got the PS1 game for that one. Following that up, of course, is going to be Ford Racing 2 for the PS2. Really underrated racing game, I think, for the console. Again, it's no Gran Turismo, guys, but I think it's a pretty decent simulation game. In all fairness, it's decent. I think it's quite fun. You get loads of, you get to play with a whole kind of smorgasbord of Ford's history in their cars and stuff. So I think, like, for a licensed, driving game, racing game, it's a really decent one for PS2. Really underrated. Nobody talks about these racing games, and whenever you hear about racing games, like the best racing games ever, the same kind of suspects arrive. You never get talk of these underrated ones like Ford Racing 2 here, for example. Yeah, really good one. Really cheap now, guys. You can get this for £1 in CEX. One whole pound. So I recommend this one. That's Ford Racing 2. A really good Ford-based alternative to, like I said, Gran Turismo. Not of that quality, but fairly decent if you want a simple kind of alternative. That's Ford Racing 2. Of course, Ford Racing 2 would be followed up by Ford Racing 3. I mean, take a shot every time I say Ford. You'd be dead.
I can't do it. I can't do it, Squidward.
Anyway, I've not played this one, so I can't comment on the third one. It's not made by Empire, so could it be a bad one? I always a bit rogue when I see the explosive label there. I'm not sure if their games are good, but if you played the third one, let me know, guys. This is also really cheap, like £1 to get. So these games were not expensive to pick up. Ford Racing 2 and the first game in particular are really, really decent. So I'm hoping this one is of the same quality, even though it's not made by the same developer. But Ford Racing 3, had to get the trilogy of these. But yeah, that's Ford Racing 3. Honestly, don't do shots with this because you'd be dead. Right, okay, next game. We carry on the Ford theme. Now, I've got the trilogy, Ford Racing. There are other Ford branded racing games. I think there's some others that I've missed for PS2 that I might get them. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But this one just it kind of attracted my eye. It was really cheap as well. It was like a £4 game. Gave me kind of Fast and Furious vibes, and it is Ford Street Racing. So I guess it's of the same series, maybe, sort of. But who knows? Again, it's by Explosive, which kind of makes me nervous that these games are going to be bad. But who knows? Who knows? But yeah, this one, I've not played it before. Brand new to this one. But yeah, apparently there's loads of different Ford racing titles. I think there's like a 4x4 one, like Ford Land Rover or something like that. kind of racing title as well for PS2. So might get that one in the future, but I'm not overly bothered with that one. But that's Ford Street Racing. I don't know about this explosive brand. I need to look into what games they've done, because I don't know if they're actually good or not. Anyway, they seem to me to be one of those like really like cheapo budget, you know, publishers that put out any old crap. But, you know, allegedly, I don't actually know if they're any good. Let me know in the comments down below about Explosive as a publisher. But yeah, looking forward to giving this one a go. Hopefully it's good. So with the Ford series kind of almost pretty much complete really, because Street Racing is, I guess, is still part of the Ford Racing series. Anyway, we've got another subset, a really underrated racing series. I now have all the games in this series. I'm really happy about it. It's a Rockstar racing game that, you know, nobody talks about these originals, but they talk about the Xbox 360 version for some reason. Los Angeles. I've got it. So I've got the originals on PS2. We're going to start off with the very first one, Midnight Club Street Racing. Played this a little while ago, a few days ago, just before Christmas. Really holds up quite well. I really like it a lot. I'm crap at it. It's more less circuit race and more, you know, get through all the checkpoints before the opponent kind of racing. Get to the, you know, you still get into the end in like, you know, finishing line, but you've got to make sure you hit through those checkpoints to be able to progress through the race and win. Really cool concept for a racing game. It's got a lot of that Rockstar attitude that I love, you know, especially these earlier games like GTA 3, A State of Emergency, and then this. They've all got this kind of, you know, early 2000s Rockstar attitude that I like. And I really like this game quite a lot. It really holds up. You know, we were playing it the other day. Really holds up really well. I think it's one of those games that goes kind of forgotten almost, because people are more, you know, especially this series, people are more, you know, into talking about, you know, Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition or Midnight Club Los Angeles, for example. No one really talks about the first game. People kind of talk about the second game, but not much of this one. But yeah, recommend this one. It's fairly cheap now. It's about a £2-3 game. I really recommend picking it up because I think it holds up quite well. Obviously, we're following suit with that with Midnight Club 2. I've always really liked this one. I think out of most of them, I think this might be my favourite. I think it's got the right combination of the street racing vibe and the Rockstar attitude that I've been talking about. I really like this one a lot. I think it's really cool. I think its cover art to me is just iconically Rockstar, and I love it. It's so cool. All these games are complete, by the way. And I really like the disc art. It's so simple with an awesome car on the disc. But yeah, this is the one for me that I think might be my favourite in the series. The rest of the series, of course, I think, in my opinion, kind of deviates from these original two games and goes and follows more of the, you know, Need for Speed Underground trend, where it's more about, you know, open world-esque, you know, game where you can customise your vehicle and you enter all these races. Where this one keeps that kind of core identity of what Midnight Club was, and I think this is probably the best example of that. This is when we get onto what I reckon is the fan favourite. People talk about this game a lot. It's the one, you know, when people talk about, you know, Need for Speed Underground and those games, there's always a counterpoint when people go, well, what about Midnight Club 3? Yeah, got that as well for the collection. See, like, I do like this one. I do think it's decent, but I don't think it's as enjoyable as maybe number 2 or even Los Angeles, for example. It's don't get me wrong, I like it, it's good. But I think I like the other games a bit more than this one. I understand why people love it. It's got that Need for Speed Underground, that kind of import kind of scene vibe to it. And it's more kind of streamlined to more of a traditional racing title. But I like the attitude and the vibe of the first two games particularly. And if I was going to go down this route with this, I'd probably prefer Los Angeles with this kind of, where the games went after 2. I think I prefer the 4th game. But this one's really good. It's a fan favourite for a reason. People just love this game. I do feel like it gets lost in the shuffle a little bit when talking about these, you know, arcade races, these arcade street racing titles. But I do think it's a really strong one. And I think we end this video on a pretty good high note, because I'm looking forward to revisiting all these games. Really looking forward to checking this one out again. It's a big fan favourite in this series. And I don't know why they haven't brought it back, to be honest. I think Los Angeles was, what, 2009? Something like that? We haven't had a Midnight Club game since. So yeah, Rockstar, get on back onto the series. I'd love to see a new addition to this. That's Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition. So that's it, guys. Those are the games for this edition of Project PS2. Absolute racing galore, guys. Ford Racing and Midnight Club series pretty much complete there, with the odd PlayStation 1 title there as well for good measure. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts on any of these games in the comments down below. And as always, let's continue to build a PS2 racing collection.